Every year, our family does a big Thanksgiving dinner, and we all typically bring a dish or two. My sister, who's a lovely person in every other way, insists on cooking something homemade every time. The issue? She's not a great cook, and I don't mean just not great, she has somehow turned classic dishes into borderline inedible creations. For context, last Thanksgiving she showed up with her special recipe, stuffing over-seasoned with random spices like cinnamon and cardamom. It was dry and the flavours were confusing and totally off for stuffing. Only one person took a small bite and the rest went untouched. Another year she brought a green bean casserole with some kind of strange, chewy texture. She later admitted she used coconut milk and almond flour to experiment. No one wanted seconds of that either. This year I'm hosting Thanksgiving. Since I'm responsible for putting it all together, I wanted to keep the menu consistent so that people could enjoy a cohesive meal. I thought I'd avoid drama by asking her to bring non-food items instead, like wine, soda, or even some flowers. I explained to her, very kindly I thought, that I just wanted to make things easy and streamlined, and I'd handle the main dishes, but she didn't take it well. She got offended and told me I was being controlling and shutting her out of the family gathering. She then accused me of making her feel inadequate and said that Thanksgiving is about everyone contributing, not me deciding what's acceptable. I told her that everyone appreciates her effort, but that she could contribute in other ways and still be part of it. She doubled down and said she was bringing her famous green bean casserole whether I liked it or not. Now, my mom and a couple of other family members have chimed in, saying I should just let her bring whatever she wants because it's Thanksgiving and it's the thought that counts. They're acting like I'm committing some huge offence by wanting the food to be enjoyable for everyone and not have random experimental dishes that no one will eat. But I'm just trying to keep the meal enjoyable and, frankly, edible. I don't think it's wrong to want guests to actually enjoy the food, especially since I'm putting in a lot of effort to host. Am I really being unreasonable here? Am I the idiot? Edit, unfortunately, she doesn't just let it go when people don't eat her food. She'll try to encourage everyone to taste it, usually by asking each person directly if they've had some yet, and even pointing out specific flavours or unique ingredients she thinks we should appreciate. If people avoid it, she'll comment, "It's okay if you're not adventurous," or she'll say that her dish is for people with a refined palate. It puts everyone in an awkward spot where we feel pressured to pretend to like it just to keep the peace. I brought a weird dish to Thanksgiving, scratch-made gumbo with gator and turtle meat. My mom was stoked, but most were skeptical at best, except my grandpa. We about had to wrestle the ladle off him. Anywho, I wasn't offended. It was too out there for some folks, and Mom was happy I showed up with something homemade. Like in OP's case, nobody was forced to eat anything. OP, you need to chill and ignore the casserole. No, people have to eat it. At least that seems to be OP's logic. OP, you are the idiot. Just let her bring a dish, and if no one eats it, they don't eat it. Only children think a meal is ruined if they don't like one small part of it that they don't have to eat. This is not about people enjoying her food for her. She knows that they don't enjoy it. This is about control for her. You all have made a grave error in not correcting her inappropriate behaviour from the beginning. Every family has someone who can't cook and is the designated drink, cup and ice person. What she's doing is rude to you. You are the host and you decide what is brought to your event. That is the only answer. I mean, this isn't going to stop until your family members actually tell her to stop. They're presumably adults who can say, "No thank you," and until they do, it's not really your place to manage her being annoying. You aren't responsible for managing how your family interacts with each other. Update number 1. Am I the idiot for banning my sister from bringing her homemade food for Thanksgiving? Alright, well, things have escalated fast. Thanks to everyone who offered advice. I tried to compromise, but it's already turning into a whole thing, and Thanksgiving is still a few weeks away. After our last conversation, my sister was pretty cagey about what she planned to make, so I reached out to my mom, hoping she could help smooth things over. Instead, she got defensive, saying I was overthinking and that it was just one dish. I told her I wasn't sure it was just one dish anymore, especially after hearing about my sister's grocery haul, including canned oysters and edible glitter. Then my mom let slip that my sister has been hard at work on some creative menu she's planning as her Thanksgiving surprise. Apparently, she's been telling the family group chat, which I wasn't included in by the way, that I'm being controlling and that she wants to expand everyone's palate with something truly unique. To top it off, my cousin sent me a screenshot from the group chat where my sister said she's bringing not one, but 3 dishes to Thanksgiving now. She's calling them her Thanksgiving Trio Experience, complete with their own place settings and little menu card she's designing. I'm officially panicking because I have no idea what she's planning to serve, and from what I've heard, it's not remotely traditional. At this point, half the family thinks I'm overreacting, while the other half is texting me with things like, "Is she really bringing glittered sweet potatoes?" I feel stuck. If I try to control it anymore, I'm the bad guy, but if I don't, Thanksgiving might turn into a tasting event for my sister's avant-garde cooking. So yeah, Thanksgiving is weeks away, and it's already become a family spectacle. I don't know whether to brace myself or just preemptively order pizza. Glittered sweet potatoes? What in the unholy heck spawn is that? I'm scared about the oysters. My advice now would be to make so much food that there's absolutely no room on the table and have her set up her trio somewhere else away from the normal people food. Or cancel it and have someone else host. She's doing it to disrespect you and your home, so maybe it's not worth it. Honestly, you're being a bit of an idiot here. At this point, your entire family knows her cooking isn't great, so whatever monstrosity she creates isn't a big deal. If there's enough food people can and will eat, leave her alone. If she wants to waste her time and money on creating someone no one will eat, let her. What's the harm? Update number 2. Am I the idiot for banning my sister from bringing her homemade food? Somehow things have escalated even further than I thought possible. I thought maybe my sister's Thanksgiving Trio Experience would be the peak of the drama. Well, it turns out I was wrong. Since the last update, my sister has become fully committed to making her dishes the main attraction. She's been dropping hints in the family group chat, which I'm still not included in, but shout out to my cousin for the screenshots, about how this Thanksgiving will be one to remember and calling it her Thanksgiving debut. She's apparently been referring to herself as the Thanksgiving head chef. She's hinted that she's bringing some kind of culinary surprise centerpiece that will transform the whole experience. From what I can tell, she's planning a main statement dish in addition to her 3 original side dishes. I'm picturing something equally bizarre but on a much larger scale. And honestly, I'm terrified. If her green bean casserole was already pushing it, I can't even imagine what she thinks is worthy of being the centerpiece. Then, to make things even weirder, my mom texted me privately and suggested that I step back this year and let my sister shine since she's so excited about her contributions. My mom thinks if we just give her this moment, it'll make her happy and she'll get it out of her system. She even hinted that maybe I should focus on decorations and drinks instead of the main dishes, which feels like an attempt to turn hosting over to my sister without actually saying it. So now I'm left with a choice: go along with my mom's plan and let my sister hijack Thanksgiving, or keep pushing back and risk a family showdown. I wanted a nice Thanksgiving with dishes everyone would enjoy, but I'm either about to hand over the whole meal to her or prepare for some serious drama. Thanksgiving isn't even here yet, and it already feels like a circus. I'm half tempted to just sit back and see what chaos unfolds, but part of me is still worried about subjecting the whole family to whatever artistic statement she has planned. Girl, if your sister wants to host, she actually needs to host, not you doing all the work of hosting and her showing up with 4 abominations against heck. Let your sister do the whole shebang. She can clean and cook and set the table, the whole 9 yards. Go ahead and get you a nice bottle of wine. Make sure you eat a nice big meal beforehand and bring a big purse with some snacks in it. Sit back and just watch. Lean into the compliance of their wishes. By all means, prepare some food for you at home. Personally, I care more about the sides and deviled eggs than the turkey, but whatever brings you joy. Have your own Thanksgiving feast on Black Friday, and then see if you get added to a new group chat that your sister wasn't added to. Yeah, I seriously don't get this. Honestly, if sister is being as much of an idiot to have a family group chat without the host, basically planning to hijack OP's home, OP, maybe suggest that the entire dinner is either at your sister's house or your mother's house. That way you can go and just enjoy the chaos without having to clean up before or after. And don't show up hungry, eat before you go. Edit, you know what, that actually sounds like a genius idea. If my sister wants to take over the spotlight so badly, hosting at her house would give her all the freedom she needs to showcase her masterpieces without me having to worry about the setup, the cleanup, or the fallout. Plus, I get to just sit back, relax, and enjoy the chaos like the rest of the family. I could even pitch it as a way to showcase her hard work without stepping on my toes as host. If my mum's already on her side, maybe she'd even help make the transition happen. At this point, I'm not sure why I didn't think of this sooner. It's the perfect solution for her main character moment and my sanity. Thanks for the idea. This might just save my Thanksgiving. Update number 3. Am I the idiot for banning my sister from bringing her homemade food? Here we are, the day before Thanksgiving, and things have continued to spiral. I let my sister move forward with her trio experience since pushing back more would only make things worse. I thought we had a plan. She'd bring her dishes, and I'd make sure there were plenty of other options to keep the peace. This morning, my mum told me that my sister is adding a surprise dish to her contributions. She's been very secretive about what it is, making everyone nervous after her past attempts. My mom thinks it's sweet that my sister is putting in so much effort, but a few other family members are not as optimistic. My cousin texted me privately asking if I had backup food ready, and my dad casually mentioned bringing extra rolls, just in case. At this point, I've decided to stick with the plan and let her have her moment. I'll still have a few traditional dishes so no one goes hungry. Tomorrow will probably be chaotic, but it should at least make for a memorable holiday. Wish me luck. Final update. Am I the idiot for banning my sister from bringing her homemade food? Now that Thanksgiving dinner is officially over, I don't know where to start. I feel like I just lived through a fever dream of culinary chaos and family drama, and I need a moment to breathe before I can even process everything. My cousin and I are heading out for drinks to dissect all of it because, honestly, what just happened deserves its own Netflix special. But for now, let me give you the rundown. So my sister showed up earlier than expected, which I should have seen coming. She came in like a storm, carrying her 3 dishes and this giant platter wrapped in foil, which she was clearly trying to make a big deal about. She immediately rearranged the table, moving my dishes to the side so hers could take center stage. She even brought her own table runner and candles, saying something about setting the mood for a creative dining experience. I decided not to fight her on it because at this point I just wanted to get through the night without a blow-up. Her trio experience was, well, let's just say it was everything I feared and more. She started with a glittery sweet potato mash that somehow tasted like a mix of sugar and sand. The glitter wasn't even edible glitter, it was craft glitter, which I didn't realize until one of the kids said, "This is crunchy," and I looked closer. Then there was the cranberry and oyster relish. Yes, oysters and cranberries. It looked like someone had spilled jam into a clam chowder, and the smell alone was enough to make me lose my appetite. Finally, she brought a pumpkin curry casserole that had raisins in it for some reason, and this weird fishy smell that clung to the air for way too long. But the pièce de résistance was her surprise centerpiece dish, which turned out to be a turkey gelatin mold. Yes, she took ground turkey, mixed it with some broth and seasonings, and turned it into a wobbly, translucent mold shaped like a turkey. She even garnished it with parsley and cherry tomatoes to make it festive. I wish I were kidding. The entire table went silent when she unveiled it, except for my cousin, who immediately started coughing to cover up what I'm pretty sure was a laugh. Things hit their peak when my mom, who had been defending her this entire time, took one bite of the gelatin mold and just froze. She didn't say anything, but you could see the regret on her face. My sister, noticing the lack of enthusiasm, gave this long speech about how Thanksgiving food is too boring and how she's trying to challenge our palates. She even called my ham and mashed potatoes uninspired, which was rich coming from someone serving glitter sand potatoes. The breaking point came when my aunt, who's usually the peacekeeper, tried the gelatin mold and actually gagged. She tried to be polite about it, but my sister saw her reaction and completely lost it. She started yelling about how nobody in the family supports her and how we're all stuck in the past with our unoriginal food. She even accused me of sabotaging her dishes by not hyping them up enough for everyone. At this point, half the table was trying not to laugh, and the other half was just staring at their plates. Probably wondering how we got here. My sister ended up storming out of the house, but not before saying something like, "You'll regret not appreciating my vision when I'm famous." She left most of her food behind, which my cousin and I quietly threw out after dinner. The rest of the night actually turned out pretty nice once the tension was gone. My dad's emergency ham was a lifesaver, and everyone agreed that next year we're either going to a restaurant or just skipping Thanksgiving altogether. So now I'm sitting here wondering how this even became my life. For now, I'm off to grab a drink, or 3, with my cousin to laugh and cry over everything that went down. This Thanksgiving was truly something else, and I don't know whether to feel relieved it's over or brace myself for whatever fresh chaos my sister has planned for next year. Turkey gelatin mould? Was the turkey cooked? Well, your mother and aunt got karma for enabling this. They literally got to eat their words. The rest of the family is going to have to try to outdo her next year. I don't know how, maybe there should be some psychedelics involved in thinking up some new recipes, but there's got to be a way. Could a durian be carved into the shape of a turkey? Jesus, craft glitter is crazy. I'm pretty sure it's actually a health hazard, and you'd better keep looking at your kids in case they feel bad. Honestly, I can't believe she thought craft glitter was a good idea. Feeding people literal plastic is next level chaos. This might be the last time she's allowed near the kitchen for any family event. Does she think she's going to be a famous chef? Or will she just be famous in general? Did she chow down herself? I don't understand how it could be this bad without having malfunctioning taste buds. Oh, she absolutely did. She was proudly serving herself generous portions of everything she made and going on about how much she loves bold flavors. Watching her genuinely enjoy the turkey gelatin mold while the rest of us struggled to keep a straight face was something else. At this point, I think her taste buds really are on another planet, and she completely lacks self-awareness, but her cooking experiments feel like they're stuck in the trial and error phase, with way more errors than trials. Trust me, after today, I'm starting to think we all need to have a serious conversation about boundaries before the next holiday rolls around.